Hello and welcome to another audio analysis. In today's video we're looking at the first single to be released from Enter Shikari's upcoming album A Kiss for the Whole World, titled Please Set Me On Fire. The British rock band are looking to continue building on the major success they have been having over recent years, releasing some singles recently, and they're looking to continue building on the success of their previous album Nothing Is True and Everything Is Possible. And if there is one band that do prove that everything is possible, it is Enter Shikari. They are probably the band that has gone through the most style changes and made it extremely successful in doing so. Some of their more recent albums have had really strong critical acclaim, the Minesweeper especially. They've moved away from that hardcore sound that they had in their very early days on Take to the Skies, and they've just really blended it into a much more pop-based sound, although keeping those rock elements and really blitzing it all over the place with different sounds and styles. They are just the band that are constantly evolving and constantly trying new things, and I'm really excited to see how this new track is going to sound. And Ralph Reynolds has actually stated in a recent interview that actually a lot of this album is going to revolve around the idea of him not songwriting for quite some time. He actually took a little bit of a break. I think he said the most he's taken a break for was about 2 weeks. He took about a 2-year break, and this is this explosion of ideas coming out, and he's really wanted to revolve some of the tracks on this upcoming album around that idea. So it's going to be interesting to see how that has impacted him and just how that will affect the songwriting in this track. So let's take a look at exactly how it sounds. Oh, so Ra actually directed this video himself.
Please set me on fire.
Straight away we've got a really interesting mix here. We've got these very upbeat sounds and these very sporadic electronic sounds. They are one of the bands who make sporadic randomness look so organised. I don't know how they do it. They just really do. They can throw any sound at a wall and it will just mesh together so easily. And Raul with his sort of higher vocals really just coming in with a nice open soft sound as well. Considering the song's about being set on fire, it certainly is seeming like it's coming across very peaceful already. And again, we see something they've done on quite a number of recent tracks as well, really blending these electronic elements and these rock elements so very well with the very heavy, slow guitars and drums, but then really just tying that in with these very quick, dotted, spatial sounds that we have got as well from the electronic synth. So really just putting them two together, and that's the thing. This is a band you expect to mash things together. They are just throwing everything into the soup of the song that they are making, but they have mastered that art over these, and it's one of those occasions where they're able to make it work just so effortlessly. So already, Raul just has such a brilliant knack for songwriting. He loves to tie the meanings in of the songs and just really blend everything together so well. And straight away, we're seeing that with the idea of signs, looking up into the divine. All of these things fit together very, very easily. It's something you can picture yourself doing. You can put yourself in the situation he's trying to convey because the lyrics are so simple and accessible. And they just all match as well. Okay, I really like what Chris is doing with the bass here. It's almost got a zumba feel to it. Almost like you can imagine that very African influence as well. Just really that danceability that it has got to it. It's just, we're already seeing a lot of different elements that are really just being pulled together very, very nicely.
You can hear us, set ourselves alight, oh let me transcend, and be a flicker in your eyes, wait for the spark, I'm no good at goodbye.
And again, more lyrics that just really do fit the meaning of the track. We've got the use of sparks, really just pulling in anything that you can imagine would blend in with this idea of being set on fire. Any words that really just fit the mould are being used by Raul in this song.
I wanna be hush in the atmosphere. Set me on fire, set me on fire. Can you strike a match, make me disappear?
And you can see more of the same coming across here. And one thing I want to actually touch on with these lyrics is, although it kind of applies to his sort of almost his ability to sort of restart writing songs again, that ignition, that fire, looking for that spark, it also does feel like it can be a very environmental track. The idea of the fire lily on the blackened ground, it does feel like many of their songs do have a tendency to revolve around that over recent years. And some of the lyrics are definitely being quite open-ended, and you can really see them having that potential effect of looking at the globe as a whole, especially given the title of the upcoming album. So there again, straight away with The Quarry, we've got this same idea. You can picture it being his headspace in one sense, but also really applying it to that global environmental effect as well. So I like how you've got this very much this ambiguity of the lyrics of where you want to apply them to. If you want to look at maybe like say the mental health aspect or something else, he leaves that open-endedness, which is really great to see in the songwriting, and also his vocal style as well. I mean, we're so used to hearing it on most of their tracks. His ability to effortlessly dance between these different tones and these shouts and these screams and then softer elements, it just really is a bit of a masterclass in how he controls his vocals.
In the city on a quiet night, you can hear us set ourselves alight. Oh, let me transcend and be a flicker in your eyes. Wait for the spark. Please set me on fire.
So I quite like they've done something different there by dropping the levels. I was expecting almost a drop, but I like they've kind of kept it to a much softer tone. It feels like that's what they're trying to do with this track. They're trying to create that spatial element, this vastness, this openness with a lot of the lyrics. So you don't want to go into those super heavy sounds. You want to keep it light. You want to keep it entertaining and have that nice aura about it. And that's what they're doing through the lyrics, through the music. Everything is just really coming together nicely. And another thing with the lyrics is it's very easy to sing along to, very simple lyrics, and that's the thing with this, it's not encrypted, it's not really hidden in a lot of meaning. It's such an open track that it's really going to get everybody on board to understanding it. Everyone's been in that position where they need that spark of inspiration, they need that ignition, that match to strike or something like that, and it is something that everybody can relate to and just really helping to make it such an accessible song. And you got to give credit to Rory and Chris on the backing vocals. They're doing a great job of just kind of adding those extra layers to the backing of the track. I think it's really nice the way they've done that. And they love to play around with these different styles of backing vocals. Sometimes it's the almost banter-esque style they go for. With this, they have gone with those high-held notes again. Everything is adding to this almost spatial atmosphere. The lyrics, the idea of being ash in the atmosphere. It's really just great. I really am loving how they are just literally tying everything in a perfectly nice bundle, putting the bow on top, and everything just fits nicely inside this present box that they are delivering to us. Well, what a great little track that was. I really did actually quite enjoy that. I wasn't sure what to expect coming into this album, but that is definitely one that I think I'm going to have to give another few listens to. I love just some of the wacky elements we've got into this track. It's something we expect from Enter Shikari. I was most impressed by that little Zumba bass line that we had going on, that African influence. It just added this nice kind of dancing undertone to the actual track, and although it was only quite subtle, you could really notice it. It was probably helped by the fact that we're dancing along in the video, but I think you'd pick up on that, and it's a really, really nice touch. The electronic elements, again, very sporadic, but they feel so organised. It's something that Shikari do time and time again. They don't have to match constantly to a beat. They can throw things all over the place. They can just make a mess in a room and it will still somehow form a great piece of art. And I do think this is a really impressive start to the album. Again, showing more evolution from their previous albums, where they kind of, their last album felt like a bit of a greatest hits kind of style, just really pulling a lot of styles together, and they've kind of explored some heavier elements with a couple of the singles they have released as well, which has been really interesting. But I think this is a great opener. I really do think this is looking like it's going to be another strong album, because they are a band that have never really failed to deliver on most of the things that they do. Every time they go into doing something, it just turns out to just be a really strong hit with not only their fans, but they're definitely becoming a lot more accessible now. They have moved more towards blending these rock and electronic sounds as opposed to really diving constantly into the heavier sound. So definitely keep your eyes out for more singles coming from this album. This is a great first taste of what we can expect to come from the band very, very soon in the future. As always, please let me know your thoughts about this track in the comments below. It didn't really have any glaring weaknesses I didn't notice. Rory C could have maybe done with a little bit more of a part. It was feeling like at times he wasn't really getting able to get overly involved, despite having that really nice chugging guitar at times. You could have maybe done something a bit more with him. And the lyrics, great, open, accessible. Could have maybe added a little bit more, but I'm really trying to nitpick here. I'm really trying to pull out some tiny things on what is an all-round very interesting song that I really think is going to be very, very impressive if the rest of the album does sound like this. And as always, if you want to see more content like this, then please do feel free to subscribe, and I will see you in the next audio analysis.